Okay, it is 6:30. We're going to start the special city commission meeting. So we'll do a call to order.
And the roll call.
And roll call. Yeah.
Commissioner Stuyvesant. Commissioner Joseph.
Present.
Commissioner Vizcarra.
Here.
Vice Mayor Lama.
Here.
For the record, Mayor Svechin had emergency and won't be able to attend.
Emergency.
So we have a quorum, sir.
Okay, so we'll do this Pledge of Allegiance. David, you want to lead us? Yeah.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so tonight we have one item. You'd like to read the resolution?
Yes, sir.
Please.
3A is a resolution of the City of Sunny Isles Beach establishing the City of Sunny Isles Beach proposed ad valorem tax millage levy rate at 1.8000 mils per $1,000 of taxable assessed value, which is 7.52% more than the rollback rate of 1.6741 mils for fiscal year 2025-2026.
Okay, would you like to make some comments, Mr. City Manager?
Yes, Vice Mayor, thank you. Vice Mayor, members of the commission, the purpose of this meeting tonight is to set our tentative millage rate. This has to be done tonight as it is due to the property appraiser tomorrow. Please note that our millage rate may be lowered during our public budget hearing, but not raised based on the setting of the tentative millage tonight. At our last meeting, our proposed rate of 1.8 mils was stalled. Since that meeting, I've met with you and asked me to look further into our budget. I have done that, and I'm pleased to report now that I can recommend a reduced budget to 1.75 mils. These cuts represent almost $1 million. Therefore, I'm asking for a motion to approve the setting of our tentative millage rate at 1.75 mils.
Okay, all right, thank you. Any public comment?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Who would like to start? Anybody have any comments?
I will start.
Discussion,
And,
okay.
I just ask that once I have the floor, I'm allowed to continue uninterrupted with all of my questions. I know sometimes I'm interrupted by the mayor, but she's not here tonight, so there shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, go ahead, Jerry.
Thank you. Okay, so earlier today, I wrote to Stan, our city manager.
Jerry, talk into the mic, get the mic closer,
Earlier
please.
today, I wrote to Stan, our city manager, asking if Tiffany would be here tonight, and he told me she would not. So I have some questions to ask of the city manager, and then I can propose my suggestion for the millage rate. So, Mr. Manager, I had written to you with certain questions. Are you prepared with those responses?
Vice Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, Commissioner, you gave me a number of different requests for information earlier today, none of which would have been able to be compiled by this evening.
Now, if Tiffany had been here, she could readily answer those questions, correct?
No, she could not,
Why would that be?
because it's a substantial amount of information that you've asked.
Okay, so let's go over what I had asked. I had asked for numbers from 2023 to 2024, 2024 to 2025, and then projected figures for 2025 to 2026. So regarding those years, what I was asking for was the dollar amount in reserves. Now that's easily obtainable, is it not?
You asked for a
You go
number
ahead,
of
go ahead.
projections, which
Well, no,
require us to.
that's 2025, 2026. But let's get to the 2023, 2024 reserves. That's a number that's easily obtainable, correct?
There's certain things, yes, we can give you.
Okay, so would you be able to obtain that?
We'll happily provide that to you, yes, before our first budget hearing, yes.
So, yeah, but we're trying to come to a figure tonight.
Yes, we started our, Vice Mayor,
You may.
We started, as you know, we started our budget hearings in April, and the information you requested was earlier today. So all of this information could have been asked and answered at our workshops, any prior meeting before today. So what I'm asking for tonight is to set our millage
Okay.
at 1.75.
Okay,
If you would like to
so-
propose something different, then you're welcome to do that.
Okay, so at this point, I would like to propose a millage rate of 1.6. Based on my figures that I've looked at and worked through regarding the 2023-2024 reserves and 2024-2025, the city has been in excellent shape, even though we had some commissioners and the city manager that viewed the city as being to be more cautious, but being cautious and regarding the economy that's been in excellent shape. And our projections show that the federal government and Sunny Isles in particular will be in excellent shape for the upcoming year. And with what we have coming in from interest and from interest from the development figures, I believe that $4 million to lower the millage rate to 1.6 is not a big number for the city to contribute, since this is the residents' money and we're only the conservators of those funds, that we have an obligation to give back when we can to the residents. And in that regard, I make a recommendation to have the millage rate be at 1.6 rather than 1.75.
You may. You have any comments?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Anyone else would like to go? No? Would you like to go?
Regarding the 1.6, no.
Okay. All right. Stan, I have a question. So just to clarify a couple of things. So historically, we've been lowering the millage rate. Okay, we did it in the past couple of years. I mean, historically, if you see the history, you see it that we have been lowering it. And what I would like to ask the city manager, and you mentioned that in your opening statement, is can we push the millage rate from the 1.75 a little bit lower? You know, is there any more wiggle room where we could perhaps cut a little bit more so we could bring it lower? Not the 1.6. I think that we need to be a little cautious. That's lower than the rollback rate. So can we bring it down to like a 1.72 or even to a 1.7?
I think what my suggestion would be, keeping in mind that we could always lower the millage after the setting of the tentative millage, would be to set the tentative millage at the rate that I've suggested, and then in between now and the time when we have our first budget hearing, I can look at the numbers further if that's the will of the commission.
Okay.
Sorry, just to finish, keeping in mind that we can always lower the millage, but I cannot raise it based on what your direction is tonight.
Understood. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Jennifer.
in between, when is the next meeting? What would be the in-between? What would be that
Maybe
timing
August.
that we have to play with in between?
I believe it's the first week of September.
Okay,
September 3rd.
September 3rd. Okay, thank you. So if we're going, I understand that you're recommending the 1.8 based on the months and months of work by the staff whose job it is to solely think about these things. So I understand that. And you understand that there is some wiggle room, but we can't just be throwing out numbers. Like I could stand here and say, let's make it 1.0, but I'm not basing that on anything. So any numbers that I think we're going to consider at the next, if we're looking to lower, which I think I'm okay with, but I need to understand what we're giving up. So if it's 7.5 or 7.2 or 7 or whatever, it comes with a cost in terms of services or things that we're not going to buy or people that we're not going to hire. So if we're going to have different recommendations, I'd like to know what the cost in options would be for that. Does that make sense? Like going forward, if it's 1.7, well, these are the things that we would cut, you know, to what do you call it? To justify that, right? And if it's 1.75, you know, these are the things. Was that something that you could do?
Vice Mayor?
Go ahead.
Yes, in between now and when our first public budget hearing is, I could run a scenario
That's the
at
word I was looking for. Thank you. Scenarios.
1.75 versus 1.72 versus 1.70, and my proposed cuts after meeting with the finance department, and give you specificity on what we would remove from the budget pending those different rates.
I would like that. I would like to see that. Okay.
When it comes to the budget, I mean, what I like to see, obviously, is we need to run the numbers. I would like to make decisions based on just, you know, no information. But I know that as a fact, perhaps, you know, we have, for instance, we have open positions that have not been filled for a couple of years. So at this point, we're at 60 something, perhaps, more or less, right? So take a real look to see if within that year or within the next fiscal year, are we going to be able to fill those positions? I know that we need to plan ahead. Maybe we will be able to fill those, but take a hard look at that and take a hard look at perhaps other expenses that we budget for and see if we could get them closer to what the actual expenses or the reality is, and see how we could cut that from the budget without obviously affecting services. So that's what I have in mind. And maybe you could run some scenarios for us, and we could take a look at that in our next meeting.
I can.
Yeah. Anyone else?
But that just goes to my point, Alex. Like, if we lower it, then one of the things, maybe we're not cutting on service, but then you're cutting a hire, you know, that we haven't hired yet. But
No,
it
understood, but
balances.
I'm just trying, because every year we have a budget set at this much, and then our expenses come in lower. And that has been the case ever since I've been here. So I'm just trying to get the budget closer to that, perhaps, right? I understand that these are projections, and we need to do our due diligence, but see how we could perhaps take a harder look and be able to lower the millage rate, maybe to a 1.7, you know, 1.72. We'll see. And I understand the time constraint we're under, so, you know, we need to transmit this by tomorrow. We have a deadline. So with that being said, I just ask each one of you to consider that. And like the city manager said, we could always lower the millage rate for our next commission meeting. All right, so with that being said, would like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion
Okay,
for the 175 with the expectation that we're going to get the scenarios to see if we can lower it in September.
any seconds? I mean,
I would like to make a motion.
Okay, but no, we have a motion on the floor right
Pending
now.
motion right now, so we have to resolve one
Well,
motion
it
first.
didn't, there was no second.
No, I'll second it.
You have to pass the
He
gavel,
gave,
Uh,
pass me the gavel.
the theoretical gavel.
Go ahead.
yeah. I'll second the motion.
Okay,
Still
so let me
tie.
just go through a roll call. Commissioner Stuyvesant,
No.
Commissioner Joseph,
No?
Commissioner Viscara,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lama.
Yes,
The ordinance is 2-2. It fails.
yeah. Okay, now,
So I would
I'd
like to make an
hold
additional
on.
motion.
hold on. I would like to make a comment. Mr. City Attorney, can you explain the consequence of this when it comes to the
Well,
millage?
if it fails, you have to convey some sort of millage rate to the property appraiser by tomorrow. If you don't decide that number amongst yourself, you're relegated to the rollback rate from last year. And again, you can always lower, but it's extremely difficult to raise between now and you can raise it. You could try to raise it at your first budget hearing in early September, but it's very costly because the property appraiser at that point has to send by registered mail notices to every single taxpayer in the city, comparing what the lower rate was to the higher rate. So it's an expensive proposition to do that.
Okay,
And that's all you're relegated to. You have
Yeah.
to transmit a number by tomorrow. And if you don't decide on a number, it's going to be decided for you by by state statute.
okay. So just to note, the rollback rate is 1.6741. Okay? So, Mr. City Manager, you have any comments?
Well, I think if you were to look back at our first meeting, where I recommended 1.8, I think that's a better starting point to work our way backwards. So I'm concerned with making it any lower because we can't raise it. So based on that, I think I understand the 1.75, but I would like to ask for our original 1.8 and then come back with scenarios.
So we will have to make another motion, correct? Put another motion, okay? You want
The
to,
first motion failed, so you'd have.
okay.
Yes.
So, all right, so you wanted to make a motion, Jerry?
Yes, I would like to make a motion.
Okay, may he go ahead and make a motion?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
I would like to make a motion for the millage rate at 1.7.
Okay,
Any second?
I'm gonna have to think about this one because because 1.7 is the goal. Like, I'm not against the 1.7. I just need to see, I would feel better.
My 1.7, if I can say, is a
I
compromise.
was talking, Jerry. You didn't want to be interrupted. Please don't interrupt me. I'm not against the 1.7, but we don't have the scenario to support that. We're just throwing out numbers. I don't think that's responsible. I think it's better to preserve our options and get data. You're asking me to just.
I have.
I'm still talking.
It's fine.
You're asking me to, I can just say, well, how about 1.74? I don't know what that means in terms of what, if we're doing things responsibly, what that would mean in terms of, let's say, the positions that we wouldn't hire. I want to make that kind of informed position. Well, 1.75 was knocked out. I don't think anybody wants 1.8, but if 1.75 was a recommendation, we can make a motion for 1.751 or whatever. to preserve the options, to make informed decisions. That's what I would like.
May I speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've gone over the figures. I've asked for the city manager to give me additional information, which did not happen tonight. But there are figures out there to show evidence that the city is in excellent financial shape, which I know is your concern. And I would not be making any recommendation if I thought that it would ever put the city in any type of jeopardy. But we have millions and millions in reserve. We have projects that,
Hold on, Jerry. We're trying to hear. It's a little difficult. Thank you. Go ahead.
we have millions and millions in reserve. We have, the city is not near any type of jeopardy as far as cutting any events or projects as Commissioner Viscara was worried about. That would never be the case. We're in excellent financial shape. If Tiffany were here, she would be able to answer those questions. I had asked her to be here tonight, but the city manager said she would not. And I believe that the questions that I had written to the city manager for him to have available this evening, he could have easily had, but for some reason, we don't have those answers. But I know absolutely from my experience and from going over the numbers myself, that 1.7 is a millage rate that no one can be worried that the city would ever be forfeiting any amount that is not a valid amount for us to spend and give back to the residents.
And you may be right about that, Jerry, but I don't have the data to support that. The information we were given was for 1.8, and then the recommendation, the post number crunching was 1.75, which we're moving in the right direction. And the point here is we can still land at 1.7. I'm not saying it's impossible. It may very well be possible, but I want to make an informed decision. And I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, Jerry, but I can't just take your word for it. That's
But
not
I'm telling you
I'm
from-
still speaking. I can't just take your word for it because I have to do my due diligence too. Now, I didn't come in here with the expectation that for 1.7, right? I didn't do that, but I'm not against it. I think we can still get there, but we have to be responsible about how we get there.
We've always been responsible. We've been responsible in past years.
Yes.
And last year we were told, oh, we have to be extremely careful that the city could be in financial jeopardy, which was never the case. And, we tried to lower the millage rate even lower last year. And I believe that 1.6 is a valid millage rate for this city, considering the amount of money we have, the amount of money we have coming in. And, like I said, this is the residents' money. And if we can afford it, they deserve to have it back.
And I don't disagree with you.
All right, Fabiola, do you have any comments? No?
Just clarification for the public. Tiffany is our finance director, so you guys know when we talk about Tiffany. That's it.
All right, so we're in a predicament here because we need to transmit this tentative millage rate by tomorrow.
Well,
And we're only 4 right now, okay? So we have the option to vote on 1.75, okay? And then
Well,
have the scenarios.
that got voted down already.
Well, can we propose it again? Or we need to wait?
No, you can propose it again.
Yeah, okay.
It could be a reconsideration.
We could be a reconsideration. Okay, so,
I'm sorry, just to clarify, the motion was for 1.7, not 1.5, 1.75. The motion was for 1.7, not 1.75.
no,
And it failed.
No, yours was for 1.8.
No, it was
no,
not.
1.75.
No, we haven't voted for 1.8 yet.
1.8 is what Stan said.
Yeah, the
After
first was 1.75.
Yeah.
Okay.
so actually, I believe 1.7 is still out there.
Well, nobody.
We're still waiting for a
seconded that.
second.
Nobody seconded that.
Well, we're still waiting for a second.
Yeah, okay. Any seconds?
Any seconds?
No? Okay.
No? Well, apparently you haven't gone over the budget book as I have.
Okay. All right, so,
And just if I can reiterate,
yes,
this is just a transmittal of your tentative rate.
I understand that,
true
yeah.
Proposed millage rate is going to be decided
In
in
September.
early September. This is just to get the ball rolling with the property appraiser's office.
okay.
Well,
Oh,
we
so
want to
that's
get the
why
ball
when you-
rolling on the right foot.
All right,
Correct, but you
hold
have-
on.
you have
Let him
very little
Let him finish,
leeway.
Jerry, and then,
Once you do a tentative, you have, as you correctly stated, you have leeway to reduce it further. You just don't have the option necessarily the other way. So again, this is just a preliminary transmittal of a proposed millage rate. You are going to actually decide a proposed millage rate at your next hearing in early September. And then at that point, you'll have another hearing where you're actually going to finalize that millage rate. So this is for transmittal purposes, really.
I understand that.
yeah.
And Vice Mayor?
So, all right, so would anybody like to make and reconsider a motion for a millage rate of 1.75?
I will restate the motion.
Okay, any seconds? Okay, so with that being said, going back to what the city attorney said, we'll have to transmit the rollback rate. Is that understood?
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
can I ask for a vote on my original proposal of the 1.8? With that in mind, going back and looking at it and bringing you scenarios prior to our first budget hearing?
I mean, we could do that, but nobody's even, I mean, not even 1.75 is possible at this point. So
I mean, I can make it, but
yeah,
I would like to say that this is quite unfortunate because we should have had Susan here tonight. We should have had Tiffany here in order to have a valid meeting. And this is just quite unfortunate. And this is just, for me, this is just signaling that for something that the commission should be the people that set the millage rate, not the city manager. But it seems like the city manager is trying to be in control of this, and it's just wrong.
well,
I should have had answers to my questions that I had written earlier, and it's just unfortunate.
Jerry, let's stick to the subject right now and see how we could
Well,
be in compliance and transmit this by tomorrow.
I'm willing to sit here till midnight.
all right.
All
So,
So,
Jerry, again, I don't want to do this because I'm doing this without the information.
Well, you
But
have the
hear me
same
out.
book that I
Hear
had.
me out, please. I do have the same book that you have. And I come to different conclusions than what you have concluded, which is not unusual for us, okay? But I'm willing to propose, what's the middle point? 1.25? Not 2.5, what did I say?
1.725.
725, is that what the middle point would be?
That
Oh
would
my God,
be
I'm
it,
writing
yeah.
7 points. Okay, sorry. 1.725. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a middle point. I don't want to do that because I'm not, I don't think it's the most responsible thing in the world, but I think it's insanely irresponsible to not make a decision at all. So, I guess I would make that motion. 1.725. And yes, I'm sorry,
So-
I have the gavel now.
Okay.
Sorry.
So Commissioner Viscara, you realize that the
We have a
difference-
motion on the floor right now.
Well,
Yeah. All right. We have a motion on the floor, so. City Attorney, may he comment? Go ahead,
Well, the
Jerry.
Do you have a
dollar
second?
amount
Do
now-
you have a second on the motion?
I'll second the motion. She's got the gavel.
Okay.
No second. Vote?
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
No.
Commissioner Joseph,
No.
Commissioner Viscara,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lama.
Yes.
The motion fails 2-2.
You may talk now, Jerry.
Okay. So you realize that the dollar difference to the city from going from 1.725 to 1.7 is only, and Stan, you can verify, is what, $200,000 or less? No. We're talking about percentage points now, not, we're talking about from 1.725 to 1.7. So it's less than $200,000, correct?
Approximately.
Because 1 point is 2 million, right?
Approximately, yes.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Jerry,
So-
my issue is not necessarily the dollar amount. I understand that it's compared to the
Over
stuff
the
that we
entire
do. I'm still
city budget.
speaking. My issue is not that it's 200,000 or 300,000. I understand that by our numbers, that's not a big deal. I understand that.
The
My
interest
I am
alone
still
is 27
speaking.
million.
I'm still
Let her
speaking.
finish.
My objection is to doing so with no data in front of me. I don't think that's responsible. I'm putting myself out there to try and meet you halfway, because more irresponsible is not passing a number at all. So I am trying to meet you halfway. I'm trying to, this is literally our one job as commissioners. Everything else that we do is nice, but our one job is to pass millage and budget. So we're failing here. So I'm willing to meet you halfway, and I'm done speaking.
Okay,
So,
hold on.
wait,
We're
so can I
past
answer?
No.
Can I answer?
No, hold on.
I
Hold
need to
on.
answer.
Jerry, I need something to say. We're past 30 minutes, so I need to have consensus so we can continue.
Motion to continue.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, now
So-
you may go.
Commissioner Viscara, you have the same budget book from 2023, 2024, 2024, 2025 that I've been looking at and reviewing. Have you not reviewed those budget books?
What is your point, Jerry?
So then you should feel as confident as I do that we're not at any tragic situation here. The city can easily afford the additional $200,000 to get down to 1.7 and 1.6 even,
And I don't
with
disagree.
no loss of any events or anything that we've budgeted for in the last 2 years.
All right, let me,
Go ahead.
hold on.
Just
Go ahead.
And
Go
all
ahead,
of that is something I want to hear from. These are questions that should have been raised at the budget workshops or in not today. Like today, where it's putting the pressure because it's a meeting, because it's in public, because we understand this is politicking. These are things, if you had questions, if you needed data, you've been looking at these books, right, for the past 3 years, then you could have asked the questions at some point earlier than today, so we could have gotten answers, so we could be making informed decisions. But instead,
Hold on,
I'm
One
put
at a
in a
time,
position where I just have to take your word for it, and that's not fair to me. But what we can do is we can vote on something and work on lowering it. I am not against that. I want to lower it, but I want to lower it with information.
Again,
So
I'd
let
like to
me-
make a comment. Hold on.
I need to
This
be
is
able
a
to answer.
Tentative transmittal. We need to do that by
Yes.
tomorrow. I don't see anything wrong with going with 1.725, and then we could come back and lower it to 1.7, or, whatever it might be, okay? So, but we need to transmit this by tomorrow. I think that I agree with you in a way, Jerry, where the monies between 1.725, 1.75, and 1.7 might not be too much, not even for the residents. It's not a big difference, Jerry. I mean, we made the calculations the previous year. It's not a lot of money, you know? So, you know, we need to take into consideration that we need to stay
Not a
within
lot
the
of money,
time frame.
to give back to the residents?
It's not a lot of money per household.
Yeah,
from a
but that's not-
1.725.
But that's not even the point, okay?
So
We don't, it's their money.
No, it's
We're-
their money. I'm not saying that, but what I'm trying to say is that we have a deadline by tomorrow, and we could always come back and lower it to 1.7, and you could propose even lower like you had done before, but we need to abide by the deadline.
But it doesn't do me any good if the commissioners that need to make the decisions look over the budget books and they don't understand what they're looking at and they don't feel confident.
I would like to correct you. I do look at
Yes.
the budget books,
Okay,
and I
so
understand the budget books,
then
so
you
I
should-
wouldn't make those assumptions,
Okay,
okay?
well then, you
mean-
know the same that I know.
Well, I
that the
just
city
told you,
can
but
well
I like,
afford to
we could
lower the
always,
millage rate.
we could always come back in September and lower the millage rate. Right now, it's a tentative millage rate that we need to transmit, okay? So keeping that in mind, we should go ahead, vote for it. Again, we're in a predicament because we're only 4 right now.
Well, then I'll make a
Okay.
motion for 1.7, and that's a compromise. So do I have a second?
You know what, Jerry? I'll second it. I'll second it. I'll second it. Against my better judgment, I will second it. Okay?
Thank you.
Commissioner Stuyvesant?
No.
Commissioner Joseph?
Yes,
Commissioner Viscarro?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lama?
Yes, I mean,
There you go.
but I'd like to make a comment though, Jerry. You compromise on what? Compromise on what? You say that
This is
that's a compromise for
going
what?
down to 1.6.
No, because last time you said 1.7, so I don't see that as a compromise, okay?
Well,
You need to consider what we say as well, okay? And you need to
I
be
further
considerate.
reviewed the records, and I was looking tonight to have verification from the city manager, which he did not come prepared, unfortunately.
You didn't
But
give
at the
him the
next
time to
meeting-
prepare.
Well-
But at the next meeting, no, I wrote to him early enough in the day
Today.
to have those numbers, and they were easily obtainable. So at the next meeting, we will have everyone here, Susan, Tiffany, to answer those questions and possibly get it down to the 1.6 that I know we can afford without question.
All right. So we can transmit 1.7?
Yes, the resolution passes.
All right.
Because last time you said 1.7, now you said 1.6, so you're a little bit all over the place.
1.7, you can still lower it.
You could
What?
still lower from 1.8, Jerry. You can lower from 1.725. That was the whole point of this.
But you
can
see
still
now,
lower
we're
it.
guaranteed to not be able to
Yeah.
go up to 1.8.
We're not gonna go, we were never gonna do
But
that.
we can still go
I think that was
down
clear,
after
but
we go
whatever.
over
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we
And we
said
get the
we're open
right-
to 1.7. We
Everybody's
just
on the
wanted to
same
give,
page.
yeah, that's
just
fine.
wanted-
With 1.7, I mean,
I
the
make a motion
reality
to
is that.
adjourn.
I
No,
second
hold
the
on.
motion to adjourn, but I'm not the mayor right now. Sorry, go ahead.
Hold on, I'm in charge.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, motion to adjourn.
I second that.
Second. Thank you.